Okay, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody is well. Welcome to the Boost. Happy Monday. Great to have you back. Hope everybody had a nice holiday for those that observed. For those that didn't, sorry, we missed you on Thursday. We left off with the idea of empathy, seeing it from someone else's perspective, recognizing that so much of life really is relationships. So much of life is relationships. So much of what you want in life. If you just think of it this way, so much of what you want in life really is the product of a relationship. Even if it's the relation between the person and across the counter, right? Like so much what we're trying to get is a relationship. You want to get on the airplane. You want to get the muffin. You want to get the deal. You want to get the job. It's all relationships. So much of life is based on our muscles of how we handle each other. I had a conversation a couple of days ago with the president of a very large company, and he was asking me some of my opinions on some of the people in the company, whatever. And I was explaining to him that the number one asset he has is not what he thinks. It's his people. The asset, yes, there is IP, and there's property, and there's a lot of stuff that great companies have, but the number one asset that a company has is its people. You get great people, anything's possible. That wasn't always the case. There was a time where the number one asset a company has was its factory line, and if some guy went down on the factory line, they just put a new guy in. But really, the greatest thing they had was the brilliance of how they built the machinery. Really, the greatness they have is the brilliance of how they do this or that. And so once the company has that, once they have that infrastructure or those resources, the people are fungible. Those days are over. Those days are over. Three people in a Starbucks could upend an industry today. Anything's possible. It's people. It's people. You go to Israel and you see it straight, man. You see it straight. Israel's not a big country. Now, there's a lot of divine intervention there, but it's not a big country at all. And those people, man, they do some crazy stuff. It's people. It's a few people. They're doing crazy things. You could see some of the technology coming out of Israel. It could blow your mind. It's just a couple of people. It's not like billions of people. People are the center of everything. What you want in your life, most likely, is in somebody else's hands, whether it's love, or it's connection, or it's direction, or it's money, whatever it is, it's in someone else's hands. That's how God created us. He created the world this way because He wants us to connect to each other. But the game of life is through people, and the game of people is through empathy, because unless I understand somebody else, how am I going to interact with them? Somebody has to cross the line. Someone has to put their hand over and shake them across the aisle. If you don't think this is, if you want to see the example of how this is not true, just look at Congress right now. It's a disaster what's going on over there. I'm sure some people are good, but there's so much rhetoric and hatred. It's insane. We want to get stuff done. Someone's got to speak someone else's language. You can't spend your life speaking speaking your language if they don't understand you. I told you the story of the individual who lived right around my corner. I had someone who lived near me. And great group, great couple. I loved them both. Right? He spoke no Hebrew. She spoke no English. Love them both. They didn't speak the same language. Now, that works for a period of time until it doesn't. If you're marrying somebody, you kind of got to speak the language that they know. Right? If you're dealing with somebody, you kind of speak their language. And even if they're speaking English, they're speaking a different language. Speaking a very different language. Just recently, I was doing a personality test on somebody. There's these great personality tests that I love called PDP. And they delve into people that are dominant, people that are extroverted, people that are more process-oriented, people that are more conformist-oriented. It goes through a few key pieces. And I was trying to explain to somebody that if you're, let's say, a dominant person, you say things to other people that are offensive, but you don't even realize it because you're so focused on the things and the concepts that you don't have that same sensitivity to individuals. And if you're a high conformist, the way you react to rules is very different, right? The way you react to following rules. You ever been in a conversation? You ever been in a room with like a high conformist and a non-conformist? Do you ever have that? And non-conformist is like, who cares? And the high conformist is like losing their stuff, like losing it. Like, what do you mean you can't do that? Like, it's against the rules. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and the nonconformist isn't even processing. They're like, what are you even talking about? Like, who cares? Just break them. And he's like, what do you mean break the rules? Are you crazy? What, you can get in trouble and then and the guy's like, come on. You ever mediate between those two? Forget about it. You ever watch them get married together? You ever look at a couple with like a high conformist and a nonconformist? Come on, cut the line. What do you mean cut the line? Come on. It's an airport. Just cut the line. Just go to this. Go to this. The Delta Sky Priority line. I don't have it on my. It's not on my ticket. I'm not going to the Sky Priority line. It's not my ticket. It's not honest. You crazy? You ever watch that in an airport? Watch for that. Just watch for that. Keep your eyes open. If you spend enough time in airports, I used to spend more time in airports. You see everything in airports, by the way. Everything you want to see in life, you see in airports. People are different. If you go to an airport, you can learn a lot about somebody by the walkway. By the walk, you know what I'm talking about? You know the walkway, that walking thing, the thing that moves? It's a lot about people. There's three types of people in this world. There are those that don't take the walkway. There are those that take the walkway and stand. And those that take the walkway and walk. And I bet who you are is very, very, very much connected to your choice on the airport walkway. Do you get on that walkway and fly? Walk as fast as you can? Do you get on the walkway and like take a pause and let the walkway walk for you? Or do you not take it at all? You don't want to deal with it. There's too many people on it. It's too crowded and jammed. You'll just come like 80 seconds later. You know what I'm talking about? It's so different. Everyone's so different. Until somebody looks over to somebody else and says, I got to speak your language. I got to speak your language. You don't got a relationship. It doesn't work that way. That's what a relationship is. A relationship is the ability to go beyond self, right? And just for the few seconds we have today, the whole concept of relationships and spirituality is for that reason, right? We have a blessing that says we bless God, really, for creating souls and their deficiencies. In Hebrew, it's Borei Nefashos Rabos V'Chesronan. We bless God. Thank you for creating all these people and their deficiencies. Why do we do that for? Because physically I am who I am, but spiritually I'm only a piece of who I am. Spirituality isn't bound by time and space. And so I'm more connected to you spiritually than I am physically. And so when I take my physicalness and I move it towards your physicalness, I'm actually bringing our souls together. I speak this way, physical. I eat this way, physical. I think this way. Your brain is physical, right? Neuroconnections, right? I do this thing physically. You do that thing physically. When I take what I want, what I know, how I talk, what I look for, and I bring it to you, what you know, how you speak, what you care about, I am now making a spiritual gesture. Because if it was a physical gesture, I would never do this. Because if I was, my goal, my pursuit in life was more physical, I would never subjugate my physicality to your physicality to get to know you better. And if I'm using it to manipulate you, I'm not doing it right. But if I'm being empathetic, if I'm trying to understand you, if I'm trying to connect to you and being willing to take a piece of my physicalness, my materialism, and subjugate it to what you want, I am making a spiritual move. And by making a spiritual move, I gain in my spirituality. And by gaining my spirituality, I feel something different. That feeling that addictive, I don't know how to describe it, amazing feeling is enhanced spirituality. And I connect to it at a much deeper level. Now we'll talk about this. This is critical spiritual stuff. All right, we'll talk about it. Everybody, great day. God's help, can we see you tomorrow? Have a great day.
Living on a lifeline. The world doesn't ever seem to change. Looking for the sunshine, but you're caught up in the rain. It's like your eyes are wide open, but you cannot see. You're watching life pass you by like 1, 2, 3. Walking in destruction. The winds of life blur your vision. All the devastation. Forever feels like you're on the run. It's time. No one else can set you free. You're locked inside, and only you have got the key.